Hello, Snowdog here, and welcome to another tutorial video. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to build this lovely build behind me. This is a medieval house. This is perfect for an aesthetic build within the house, however, it could be used for practical reasons. I will also not be going over my installation like I did in the last video. So anyway, let's hop in. These are all the materials that you are going to need for this build. It's, it's primarily made up of woods and stones. However, there are a couple of greenery and other miscellaneous items. I will say, if you are intending to build this as a starter base, you will not need any of the dead cobble fans, as these were primarily used as a decoration block, and you will also not need the crafting table. But anyway, I'll keep this up on the screen for a couple of seconds while you jot down what you need. And then we can get into the build. Let's go. Once you have gathered all your resources, you'll want a 19 by 19 area to put this house on. At the front of the house, you'll have a it'll be 5 wide with it going back 4 blocks. This side will go out 4 blocks, and this one will be 6. This is including every block along it and not just the extension. This wall will be 7 along, as long as this wall, with this wall being 10, because you'll have a 1 block indent here and 2 block here. You also want this to go out 2, and the back door to go out 1. When you get started, make sure on each of the red concrete, place a barrel. So I will do this and I'll meet you for the next part. Okay, once you have placed all your barrels, you'll want to place cobblestone on every block that I have it shown here that is yellow or orange. So as I do that, I will meet you once I have completed this task. So once you have done that, I'll also like to add, you'll also want to leave the areas which I have decorated in blue concrete as open. This will be where your doors will be. Anyway, moving on, you'll want each pillar, which will be spruce stairs, to go up 4 blocks. So I'll get started on this and join you once I'm done. So once you have placed all your pillars in, you'll want to add a singular line of oak stripped logs all along, while leaving a place for the window 2 blocks away from this pillar here, in the centre of this wall here, and similar to the window on that side, a window here. So I'll finish placing all these logs and we'll jump in on the next stage. Okay, so now on the next stage, you'll simply need to have your oak planks, and you'll have them going 2 up while leaving a gap on the front door for your oak stairs. So once you go around, make sure your windows are too vertical. So I will finish this one and we can get started on the next stage. Okay, for the next stage, you'll be wanting to frame your build with a line of stripped spruce. As you're doing that, make sure on these 3 sides, which I'm showing you now, add 2 logs protruding outwards, because this will be the frame for the roof. So make sure you frame the entire building, including this area here, like this, and I'll do that, and I'll join you back for the next part. You have framed the roof and your house. You'll also want to add spruce doors and your windows. On each of your gaps, add either door or window. The next part of this build is to create the indents of where the roof will be, because this will create the bottom layer of which the roof will be. In the front, you simply just want to add birch light shouldn't like this. The strips of spruce logs, like positioned like this. This side, while will want to add some strip birch logs, it won't matter as much from the exterior due to the chimney blocking it. The chimney will be going onto in a bit, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So I'll complete this and I'll show you what to do on the other side. Okay, so once you have a shape like this, make sure you place your spruce logs on this layer, making sure there's the birch on top. On the next side, there will be nothing blocking this, so you want to be a bit more serious with your detailing of your stripped birch logs. You can do this any way you want, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to detail it how I like. Perfect. Anyway, you want to do the same thing as that side and place your birch with the spruce logs right by that. So you should have a building that looks like this now. You would be going on to the roof next. However, first we need to do our chimney, where you need to place cobblestone on each of these pink and purple concrete blocks I've indicated here. And in the center, you will want a chimney that looks like this. Now, make sure you detail around it, as you can see what I'm doing now, using your stairs, cobblestone. Don't be afraid to replace some of the blocks, change them up, bring up the side. What I encourage you is just have fun with it. Anyway, continuing on, we're going up. We want to have these two cobblestone pillars going up. But once you have brought it up, you want this pillar to go two higher and then out one block. We want to place cobblestone that's below and top, and have this pillar go up three. On top of this chimney, you'll want to place a campfire and 4 trapdoors. You also want to place a cobblestone wall on top, creating a convincing chimney. Once you have completed the chimney, it's now time to do the roof. To start off, make sure you frame it going along it until there's only one of your beams out. This roof we are currently doing, you can follow the design of the birch. However, this roof we're currently doing is called a gambrel roof, of which we'll place a full block on top of a underground stairs with a stair on top, one stair facing upside down, and then we simply bring it to a point. You'll want to do the same thing on the other side. As you can see, the chimney has interfered with the roof a bit, so you just need to build around it, as sure I did. We'll get onto the back of the building in a bit. So just copy this this design or roof down across the whole build. I'll finish this and we can get to filling it in. Okay, so would you have done the sort of gambrel frame, which I consider to be one of the easiest routes you can do on each side, we can move on to the back, which is a bit different to any regular roofs. So you want to take your dark oak slabs and just bring it out across, going up one on this side and bringing across the oak slabs, going up one on this side and placing two dark oak stairs upside down here and bringing across. Once you get to this side, you want to bring it down once more so you can link up with your dark oak stairs on the other side. Make sure it's connected up, and that is your framing of the roof done. We'll get onto the top and this A-frame in a bit. So, however, now it is time to fill it in. So once you have created your dark oak frame for your roof, you want to fill it in. You'll want to use your cobbled deep slate, your tuff, and your regular deep slate for this. Your regular deep slate will simply add as minor details as shown there. However, you want to put your tuff near the bottom, creating this sort of light to dark image you see here. So I'll simply do this side where you'll want to add deep slate and regular deep slate going up one until you reach there, of which will have a dark oak slab at the top. Just simply follow this along, once in a while adding tuff or deep slate as a detail, and you want to go across. This means this side will sort of be created like so. This means this side should look like this. Naturally, you will want to have more attention to detail with this, make it look nice, natural, sort of like that. So yeah, you can fill in the other side, of which I will do now, and then we can go on to the roofing. And make sure you add cobbled slate along the top here. I'll go on doing the other side. Okay, so once you have finished filling in both sides of your build, it's time to place a top on using slabs. You want to bring your slabs up here and around three blocks in, you'll bring it up, and then two blocks away from that, you bring it across. This will simply link this side to this, and then bring it across on the top like that, and it's very simple, done. Now the back of the roof is a bit more complicated, shall we say, due to this area right here, along with this A-frame. This A-frame will be the last version I will show you. The most simple part of it will be this section of the build here, which you can simply port over from the other side, except you have obviously it coming out right here. So I will do this right now. You can use the image of the screen to help you. Naturally, however, it's very similar to the roof you did at the front. And then I will talk about this section at the bottom here. Then we can talk about and get onto the A-frame. Now for this section of the roof, you'll want to replace these two spruce with deep slate. And then along the entire roof, you'll be essentially placing loads of cobblestone stairs, simply to make it look like a natural roof. Along the front, it will go up one, you will want to get it to this level, which will be at the front of the A-frame. So I will. I don't really have any suggestions for this. It's just making sure it looks natural to you, as it will be your build. And as you can see, I have essentially done it, and doesn't look too bad. Now, it's time to do the A-frame. You want to start each side on 3. It doesn't matter just about any other things. Just you can destroy uh, all the evidence in your way. You'll simply just want to go up with a stair and then understair, stair and then understair, going up until you reach the center, where you place an understair going this way and a overstair going that way, similar to what you've done on this roof and this roof. You'll link up using dark oak stairs, and if you haven't done it on the other side, make sure you do it. That is a simple A-frame done. At the center of the A-frame, you'll simply want to add your oaks from the ground floor into it, leaving one gap for your white stained glass. Make sure you cover everything up using your slabs, and done. This is the most of the exterior done. Okay, so you have finished the exterior of your build. However, there's certain details missing that's clearly present in this build right here, of which I'll go through with you. The first set of details you will want to add under each pillar as present on the outside of your build. You want to add spruce stairs to give it some structure holding up the roof. That's primarily what the detail looks like. So I will get started on this, and we can do the next set of details. So the next set of details will be simply a small roof area above the front door, a small lip. You'll simply want to do a very simple A-frame, similar at the front of your build right here. You want it to look like this, and it's simply just to give a bit of detail at the front. Next, you want to add buttons on each of these beams right here. This will cover it up and then looks like there's some sort of metalwork or nailing going on. Okay, so let's move on to the details of the roof. As you can notice on this build, I have carpets along each of the builds. That's simply to stop mob spawning. However, I think now a much better way to prevent mob spawning would be glow light, of which you can just place around. It will emit light. It's practically perfect for this sort of job. However, that is not what I want to discuss. I want to discuss the leaves. You want to make it look like there's a bit of overgrownness to your build, and there's nothing better than using a leaf to achieve this fact. If you simply just place leaves along, and when they get lower, make sure you use your azalea leaves, which will draw the eye up towards the top. You want to add leaves on both sides, possibly this side of the roof. However, I have not done it for this build. However, where you place leaves and how is entirely your preference, as long as where you place this build in your world and how. This is simply just a tutorial. Please change it how you see fit. So you have just completed the exterior portion of this tutorial. Now I will be running along the interior. I won't exactly be doing a tutorial for that because interiors are entirely on why you want the build to be there in the first place. If it's purely an aesthetic build or if it's going to have some purpose like chest roofs and will be your starter base. So let's get into this. So this is the current interior. You have an armor stand and some hangers right here because it's either front door with a little table and cobble fans. Oh, there's a big wall of barrels because I like because they act as a dividing wall and there also be a way for you to store your stuff. Here is a little central table with a fire in place. Make sure if you build make sure you build the cobble around it, because then it gives the impression that your house can't catch on fire. And this is a very simple kitchen with a sort of sink, a stove, food storage. I've used you use your campfires as shelving and stair and seats. There's a bit of sea pickle, and this place will be it's sort of a library area or enchantment area. I have a cabin table there because I like cabins place. Gives the house a bit more of a magical feeling. This is a back door where it does a plant. On this wall there's a table, however, as I said, you can design this house however you want. This is why I'm not doing a tutorial for this. Up these ladders, of which if you want to design this sort of ladder, you simply have one block, simply have a trapdoor on one block and a trapdoor on the other, making sure it's on the outside of it, so you can place the ladders. This is sort of an attic area, which is also why we did the A-frame from earlier. This will be where your bed is, some books, and a little table. It's not exactly the most medieval of it's not this isn't the most medieval of interiors, I will acknowledge that. However, I think I did. However, I'm not the best at interiors. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope you include this build in your next world, whether that be your starter base or something purely aesthetic. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.